Every day, millions of people wake up to a cup of instant coffee, but few witness the gargantuan scale of its production. It begins here, at the intake bays, where thousands of tons of raw green coffee beans arrive from across the globe. These unroasted beans are the raw building blocks of flavor, requiring immense precision to transform into soluble crystals. Purity is paramount. Before roasting, the beans must be meticulously cleaned and sorted to ensure no contaminants enter the process. Using advanced pneumatic systems, the beans are propelled through miles of piping to await their transformation in the roasting towers. The journey of instant coffee begins here, in massive climate-controlled warehouses that hold millions of pounds of unroasted green beans. Every batch is meticulously sampled and tested to ensure the moisture levels and bean density meet the factory's exacting standards. The beans are discharged into deep intake pits, where gravity and high-volume conveyors begin their journey into the heart of the processing plant. Advanced pneumatic systems transport the beans through miles of piping at incredible speeds, utilizing air pressure to move material efficiently. Before they can be roasted, the beans undergo a rigorous cleaning process to remove every trace of debris, from tiny stones to field dust. The journey of instant coffee begins not with heat, but with human intuition and rigorous standards. In the quality control lab, specialists examine the physical properties of every batch to ensure consistency.
Control, intake flow is steady, adjusting tension for smooth operation.
Copy that. Throughput is optimal.
Acknowledged, monitoring for jams.
The master roaster bridges the gap between raw agriculture and the precise science of food production. With thousands of kilograms in transit, logistics managers synchronize the flow into specialized storage silos.
Initiating bean cleaning and destoning. Stage 1, commence.
Every hour, hundreds of tons of raw green coffee arrive from high-altitude plantations across the globe to begin their transformation. Before the beans can be roasted, they must be stripped of every impurity through a series of high-intensity pneumatic filters. Magnetic separation ensures that no foreign metallic objects compromise the integrity of the processing machinery or the final brew. By utilizing gravity and air pressure, the facility separates the premium beans from lower density defects and heavy inorganic debris. The cleaned beans are now stored in massive climate-controlled silos, awaiting their transformation into the aromatic core of instant coffee. Quality begins with the sample. Every shipment undergoes rigorous pneumatic testing to ensure the beans meet the density and moisture profiles required for instant extraction. Before the transformation can occur, the raw materials must be purged of all impurities through high-frequency mechanical vibration and gravitational screening. Using the principles of fluid dynamics, the destoner separates heavy debris by suspending the lighter coffee beans in a carefully calibrated updraft. Digital eyes scan the flow at lightning speed, triggering microbursts of air to eject any bean that doesn't meet the perfect color specification. Now cleaned and sorted, the beans are staged in colossal storage silos where climate sensors ensure they remain in peak condition until the moment of roasting. Every hour, hundreds of tons of raw green coffee beans arrive from global ports, beginning their journey into the heart of the processing plant. High-power aspiration systems remove impurities and field dust, ensuring that only the cleanest coffee beans proceed to the next stage of production. Magnetic separators act as the first line of defense, pulling microscopic metallic fragments out of the stream to protect both machinery and product quality. Size and density grading is crucial. Uniform beans ensure a consistent roast, which is the foundation of the final coffee's flavor profile. Using advanced laser technology, the factory inspects every single bean, ejecting defects in milliseconds to maintain the highest standards of purity. Processing begins at the intake bay, where millions of beans arrive daily to fuel the extraction cycle. Before they can be roasted, every single bean must be stripped of impurities through high-velocity mechanical sifting. Stringent laboratory checks ensure the raw material maintains the specific moisture profiles required for a consistent flavor. Air-driven transport lines move the beans at over 60 miles per hour to the primary storage towers. Stored in climate-controlled silos, the beans wait for the precise moment they will enter the high-heat roasting chambers. The journey begins with purification, as vibratory sifters remove the remnants of the field from our coffee harvest. Powerful magnetic fields act as a silent guardian, stripping away microscopic metallic impurities that could compromise our machinery.
Propelled by air at 60 miles per hour, the beans travel through a network of pneumatic arteries toward the sorting centers.
Using laser precision, optical sensors scan every single bean, rejecting any that fail to meet our rigorous color and density standards. Precision weighing concludes the raw phase, ensuring each batch is perfectly measured before entering the transformation of the roasters. Every batch begins its journey here, arriving in massive quantities from the world's most renowned coffee-growing regions. Strict purity standards require the immediate removal of any foreign materials before the beans can enter the production stream. Even at this early stage, mechanical sieves work to ensure uniformity in size, which is critical for an even roast later on. Storage is more than just holding. It is a controlled environment where moisture and temperature are balanced with precision. Automated sensors act as the first line of defense, validating the raw material's integrity before it is committed to the furnace. The journey begins with rigorous selection, where optical sensors grade thousands of beans per second to ensure total purity. Pneumatic tubes move the raw material at high speeds, using controlled air pressure to navigate the complex factory layout. Before roasting, centrifugal separators remove the silver skin and dust, ensuring that only the bean itself enters the heat chamber. Massive silos act as the factory's lungs, holding tons of beans in climate-controlled environments to preserve freshness. Blending is a science. Automated gates mix specific ratios of bean varieties to achieve a consistent signature taste profile. The journey begins with the massive intake of raw green coffee beans, where precision and scale meet at the start of the line. Pneumatic transport systems move the beans through a labyrinth of steel, ensuring zero contamination and maximum efficiency. Before processing can begin, every batch must be purified, removing even the smallest impurities through advanced density separation. Safety is paramount. High-intensity magnets and digital sensors guard the integrity of the coffee at every step. Stored in climate-controlled silos, the beans wait for the call to the roasters, held in a state of perfect preservation. The journey begins with the massive intake of raw green beans, where tons of product are moved every hour via precision automation. Purity is paramount. Multi-stage magnetic and gravity systems strip away impurities that could compromise the final brew. Using laser technology, the system identifies and rejects a single defective bean in a fraction of a second. Beans are whisked through a pneumatic labyrinth, routed by computer algorithms to their designated storage silos. Before a single bean is roasted, automated probes extract samples to verify that the moisture and quality meet our exacting standards. The journey begins here, where tons of raw green coffee beans arrive from global origins to start their transformation. Before roasting, every bean must pass through rigorous mechanical sifting to remove imperfections and ensure total purity. Precision is paramount, as automated scales ensure exact batch weights for the critical extraction and roasting processes to come. Advanced filtration systems maintain a sterile and safe environment, capturing microparticulates during the high-speed initial intake. Stored in temperature-controlled silos, the beans wait for the precise moment they will be transformed by intense thermal energy. The journey of instant coffee begins here, with the arrival of thousands of tons of raw, green Arabica and Robusta beans from across the globe. Advanced pneumatic systems use pressurized air to whisk the beans through the facility, ensuring a constant flow while preventing any external contamination. Before the beans can be roasted, they must undergo rigorous cleaning. Multiple stages of vibratory sifting and air blasting remove every trace of debris. Precision is paramount. Every batch is analyzed for moisture content and density to ensure the roasting profile is perfectly calibrated for consistent flavor. Now cleaned and verified, the beans are stored in climate-controlled silos, awaiting their transformation into the dark, aromatic extract that defines the final product. Every day, thousands of tons of raw green coffee beans arrive from global ports, beginning their journey through our high-capacity intake system. Precision is paramount. We analyze moisture content and bean density down to the micron to guarantee a perfect roast every time. Mechanical sifting removes every trace of foreign debris, ensuring only the purest coffee beans move forward into our processing stream. Our automated pneumatic transport system moves beans at incredible speeds, protecting their integrity while managing massive inventory volumes. Computer-controlled batching ensures the perfect ratio for our signature blends, maintaining consistency across millions of units. The journey begins here, where tons of premium green coffee beans arrive from global ports to fuel our 24-hour production cycle. Each batch is subjected to rigorous humidity checks, as precise moisture levels are critical for a consistent roast. Using advanced pneumatic systems, the beans are vacuum lifted into storage silos, keeping the production floor clear and efficient. Safety protocols begin immediately with magnetic separation, removing any metallic impurities before the coffee moves forward. Finally, vibratory screens sort the beans by size, ensuring that every grain roasts at the exact same rate for a perfect flavor. The journey of instant coffee begins here at the Deepwater Port, where massive shipments of green beans arrive daily under strict quality controls. Using advanced pneumatic suction, the beans are transported at high speeds directly into the heart of the facility, bypassing traditional manual handling. Before any processing can occur, the raw beans must undergo rigorous mechanical cleaning to remove every trace of environmental debris from the fields. Stored in atmosphere-controlled silos, the beans are monitored by a sophisticated network of sensors to ensure they remain in peak condition. Once staged and verified, the beans are gravity-fed into the roasting systems, where heat and pressure will finally unlock their hidden flavors. At the start of the journey, massive volumes of raw green coffee beans are vacuum extracted from specialized logistics trailers. Mechanical separation ensures that only pure coffee beans proceed, removing any field debris through vibration and magnetic filtration. Precision screw conveyors lift the beans into climate-controlled silos, where ultrasonic sensors monitor the vast internal volume. Automated sampling arms extract product for rigorous moisture and density testing to guarantee the quality of the batch. Finally, optical sorters scan every bean at incredible speeds, using compressed air to eject any defect with surgical precision. The journey begins at the loading docks, where tons of raw green coffee beans arrive from global ports to be fed into the high-speed pneumatic intake system. Before any heat is applied, the raw material must undergo rigorous purification through high-frequency mechanical sifting and magnetic separation to ensure absolute purity. Storage is a science of precision. These massive climate-controlled silos maintain the beans in a state of stasis, preserving their chemical integrity before the transformation begins. Every batch is verified by automated sensors, checking for moisture content and physical defects to guarantee that only the highest quality beans move forward. With the raw materials intake complete, the beans are channeled through a network of high-speed conveyors, ready for the most critical phase of the process, roasting. The process begins with the arrival of raw green coffee beans, harvested from plantations across the globe and delivered in massive bulk shipments. Every shipment undergoes rigorous testing to ensure that only beans meeting our strict density and moisture standards enter the production cycle. Mechanical vibration and pressurized air work in tandem to sift through the harvest, removing any impurities before the beans move forward. A complex network of conveyors directs the flow of coffee to specific storage units, ensuring that different bean varieties are organized for blending. Once cleaned and sorted, the beans are elevated into massive silos, awaiting the high-heat roasting process that will unlock their essential flavors. The journey begins with the arrival of thousands of tons of raw green coffee beans, the foundation of every cup we produce. Pneumatic transport systems move the cargo with surgical precision through the facility, ensuring internal logistics remain seamless and sterile. Advanced sieving technology removes every impurity to ensure absolute product purity before the beans ever reach the roaster. Precise gravimetric weighing ensures that every batch meets the exact specifications for the upcoming roast, maintaining global consistency. Automated quality control systems verify the moisture and quality of the beans before processing continues, guaranteeing the finest raw material. Precise gravimetric weighing ensures that every batch meets the exact specifications for the upcoming roast, maintaining global consistency. Before processing can start, every batch must undergo rigorous mechanical cleaning to remove impurities and ensure uniform bean size for consistent roasting. Sophisticated storage systems manage the inventory, using ultrasonic sensors to track every pound of coffee as it moves through the facility's pneumatic veins. Quality control is continuous. Automated sampling arms and infrared sensors analyze the raw beans' chemistry before they ever touch the roaster. With the raw materials weighed and verified, the stage is set for the transformation into the instant coffee enjoyed by millions every day. With the jars sealed and labeled, automated systems now organize the output into bulk shipments for global distribution. Quality is the final gatekeeper, ensuring every single granule meets the exact standards of flavor, aroma, and solubility. Stored in massive temperature-controlled hubs, the coffee awaits its journey to millions of kitchens across the globe. As the sun sets over the facility, the day's production begins its transit by land and sea. And that's how instant coffee is made in factory full process is made. From raw materials to the final product.